Politics and management. Cyrus founded the empire as a multi state empire governed by four capital states Pasargade, Babylon, Susa, and Ecbatana. He allowed a certain amount of regional autonomy in each state in the form of a strapae system. A strapae was an administrative unit usually organized on a geographical basis. A strap governor was the vassal king who administered the region. A general supervised military recruitment and ensured order, and a state secretary kept the official record. The general and the state general secretary reported directly to the strap as well as the central government. During his reign, Cyrus maintained control over a vast region of conquered kingdoms, achieved through retaining and expanding the strategies. Further organization of newly conquered territories into previous provinces ruled by straps was continued by Cyrus' successor Darius the Great. Cyrus' empire was based on tribute and conscripts from the many parts of his realm. Throughout his military savvy, Cyrus created an organized army including the Immortals units, consisting of 10,000 highly trained soldiers. He also formed an innovative postal system throughout the empire based on several relay stations called Chappar Khana. Cyrus' conquest began a new era in the age of empire building, where a vast superstate comprising many dozens of countries, races, religions, and languages were ruled under a single administration headed by a central government. This system lasted for centuries and was retained both by the invading Seleucid dynasty during their control of Persia and later Iranian dynasties, including the Parthians and Sassanians. On December 10, 2003, in her acceptance of the Nobel Peace Prize, Shiri Ibadi evoked Cyrus saying, I am an Iranian, a descendant of Cyrus the Great. This emperor proclaimed at the pinnacle of power 2500 years ago that he would not reign over the people if they did not wish it. He promised not to force any person to change his religion and faith and guaranteed freedom for all. The Charter of Cyrus the Great should be studied in the history of human rights. Cyrus has been known for his innovations in building projects. He further developed the technologies that he found in the conquered cultures and applied them in building the palaces of Pasargade. He was also famous for his love of gardens. The recent excavations in his capital city has revealed the existence of the Persian garden and a network of irrigation canals. Pasargade was placed for two magnificent places, surrounded by a majestic royal park and vast formal gardens. Among them was the four-quartered wall gardens of Paradisia, with over 1,000 meters of channels made out of carved limestone designed to fill small basins at every 16 meters and water various types of wild and domestic flora. The design and concept of paradisia were exceptional and have been used as a model for many ancient and modern parks ever since. Cyrus' legacy has been felt even as far away as Iceland and colonial America. Many of the forefathers of the United States of America sought inspiration from Cyrus the Great through works such as Cyropedia. Thomas Jefferson, for example, owned a copy. The English physician and philosopher Sir Thomas Browne penned a discourse entitled The Garden of Cyrus in 1658, in which Cyrus is depicted as an archetypal vice ruler at a time when the protectorate of Cromwell occurred in English history. Cyrus the Elder brought up in woods and mountains when time and power enabled persuade the dictate of his education and brought the treasures of the field into rule and circumscription, so nobly beautifying the hanging gardens of Babylon, that he was also thought to be the author thereof. Cyrus Cylinder, one of the few surviving sources of information that can be dated directly to Cyrus' time, is the Cyrus Cylinder, a document in the form of clay cylinder inscribed in Akkadian cuneiform. It had been placed in the foundations of Esagila, the temple of Marduk in Babylon, as a foundation deposit following the Persian conquest in 539 BC. It was discovered in 1879 and is kept today in the British Museum in London. The text of the cylinder denounces the deposed Babylonian king Nabonidus as impious and portrays Cyrus as pleasing to the chief god Marduk. It goes on to describe how Cyrus had improved the lives of the citizens of Babylonia, repatriated displaced peoples, and restored temples and cult sanctuaries, although not mentioned in the text. The repatriation of the Jews from their Babylonian captivity has been interpreted as part of this policy. Neil MacGregor, director of the British Museum, has stated that the cylinder was the first attempt we know about running a society, a state with different nationalities and faiths. A new kind of statecraft. He explained that it has even been described as the first declaration of human rights. And while this was never the intention of the document, the modern concept of human rights scarcely existed in the ancient world. It has come to embody the hopes and aspirations of many. This is Cyrus Cylinder. The Cyrus Cylinder, a contemporary cuneiform script proclaiming Cyrus as legitimate king of Babylon.